At the Haunted Shack Gardens, the old adage, one man's trash is another man's treasure, could not be more true. Follow us to explore this unique and colorful sculpture garden.
A lot of the art and sculptures and pieces that are in this garden are made out of reused materials. They're made out of things that have been discarded, things that were, you could say, dead in many ways. Some of the materials that are used here are all the usual kitchen trash, bottles, all kinds of containers, plastic bottles, all cans, all kinds of cans, the lids of cans, all the caps, all of this, all of that kind of stuff. Then there's a lot of found furniture, pieces of furniture, found wood. So much lumber is thrown away. Almost all reused, all kinds of metal, random stuff. Occasionally I'll take an appliance apart and see what there is to see. Well, as you look around and you'll see there's just about everything. Often people will drop by a box full of broken plates or their grandmother's antique ceramics that's broken. Over the years, this has happened over and over and over and over again. It's quite common, actually, and I'm collecting stuff all the time, so I'm constantly picking trash up off the street, seeing interesting stuff on the side of the road, thrift shops, yard sales, all this kind of stuff. People are always getting new stuff and they're getting rid of their old stuff, and a lot of times it doesn't fit into the trash can, so it goes on the side of the road. So all this stuff I've been collecting for years and making something out of it, or changing it, or altering it in some way, and that's been going on since when I started in my 20s. When I was in my 20s and I bought this house. I was raising 2 kids here. I just naturally started to do what I do, and it's turned into this quite large garden in the front yard and in the backyard. And there's sculptures. It started with a love of plants, actually, and so I was making sculptures that held plants. And also I was predominantly a painter, and I reached a point where I painted over 50 large walls in LA, in inner city schools and under the freeways and all this. And I had done quite a lot of painting with a lot of groups of people, and I've kind of burned down on it. So then I started making stuff out of trash and putting stuff in cement, and that was all around that time. And something that has become popular in the last 10 years is doing installations out of trash. So I've been doing installations out of trash at festivals since 2005. Tours at the Haunted Shack Gardens just recently started happening with a group called Cartwheel Art Tours, and it's been in the last year. For many, many years, people have, from all around the neighborhood, people who know about it, word of mouth, have come by to see what it is, brought their relatives who come to visit during the holidays, seek it out, they've heard about it, word of mouth. So it's been a place where there's almost always somebody milling about in the front or walking by or curious about it. They'll drive by and see it and just be like, what is this?
There was one guest in particular that had donated some doors, and so that was fun to hear how the process was and collection of the doors and where they are now, and seeing, you know, how they were installed and put into a piece. Every time I've brought a different group here, I just see how inspired they are. See them get lost in the garden, wanting to take all kinds of photos. It's really fun to watch Shrine talk about the work. I'm just a super fan, like straight out. Everything that he does touches me in a way, and so I go to the festivals and experience his structures, the altars, the shrines, the music that's played in the middle of the night when you're laying there and all the cans are playing, you know, for you naturally through the wind, you know, going through the different cans. It's so fun. It's a meditation. It's peaceful. That's why I started Cartwheel Art Tours, is to be able to provide immersive experiences.
It's kind of Dr. Seuss meets Watts Tower. It's so imaginative, and I really appreciate that in an artist. As an art dealer, I think that this is very exciting because it shows that anything is possible, and that an artist who doesn't necessarily hang his work in a gallery still can have so much impact on the world around him. And I look forward to seeing more public art by Shrine in LA or Pasadena, or whoever's lucky enough to get something from him.
A fulfilling aspect of doing this for me is the constant searching, discovering, reaching for inspiration, right? That's my own practice. That's what I'm doing all the time. That's my love. That's what fuels me. That's what keeps life interesting for me. But at the same time, I like the idea of inspiring other people. Inspiration isn't just something that's used to make things that you call art. It's used to stay healthy. When you're inspired, I believe that the cells in your body and your immune system are working as good as they can work. And so we're all being bombarded with not just actual toxic poisons at all times now, we're being bombarded with toxic ideas too. So how do you stay healthy? How do you stay out of the hospital? One of the ways is you stay inspired. This is something I hugely believe in. So if people can come here and be inspired, I think that's a good thing.